Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
Happening now, a live look at downtown Rochester on a first alert day. A winter storm is coming through our area, impacting southeast Minnesota and northeast Iowa. In anticipation of what's to come, many school districts are already closed this morning.
Yeah, that's right. We do want to make sure that you and your families are safe this morning, so we are bringing you live winter weather team coverage this morning. Meteorologist David Burgett is in the Weather Center tracking the very live road conditions from MnDOT and IDOT. Darian Letty is out on the roads this morning with photographer and driver Kaylee Dershel. They're letting us know what driving looks like during the morning commute today. But first, we do want to talk with meteorologist Ted Schmidt out on the weather patio to get the very latest forecast. Good morning, Ted.
Good morning. Yeah, the snow is kind of blowing around here and swirling on the weather patio. The wind is really picking up. It's definitely a brisk breeze, and the snowflakes are very small, very slow accumulation thus far. It's been snowing here for about an hour and a half or so. We started the broadcast at 4:30 with just a couple of snowflakes. Now it's definitely more of an intense rate of snowfall, and you see the reduction in visibility because of that and the impact on the roads. There is a little snow evident, certainly from this angle, on the road there. That is Highway 52 looking across to the south and west from our studio. That's live from our Lewiston Auto camera. It's going to be a slow-moving commute. You can bet on that. It already is at this hour, and it's going to get worse as you move along through the day. Looking at some of our road cameras across the area, snow falling. At this point, light snow. Later today afternoon, there'll be a more of a moderate snowfall rate at times. But overall, what we're going to see is several inches of snow, but it's going to take 24 hours for that to happen. It's going to be a slow buildup. By day's end, we may have 4 or 5 inches on the ground, and then we'll maybe double that tonight. Visibility right now across the area, not too bad in Rochester, 3 miles here, but a quarter or 3/4 of a mile in Mason City and a little more than a mile in Decorah. Light snow building northward, and there will be more of that snow building northward through the course of the day. And already we have a winter storm warning in effect here in Rochester that lasts until tomorrow at 9 a.m. The orange counties, that's Mason City, North Iowa, big part of the Hawkeye State, in a blizzard warning. That runs from 10 o'clock this morning until 6 tomorrow morning. That's because of the snow that's going to be falling heavily at times, but powerful winds will accompany that snowfall. And so it's going to reduce visibility, create road conditions that will be downright hazardous and make it hard to see, basically. So you're talking about a quarter mile or less of visibility for a blizzard warning criteria. Today's outlook for the rest of today, temperatures climbing from 10 this morning. That's where we are right now, to around 18 or 19 this evening. It is going to be a snowy day with a lot of wind, and that causes not just very cold wind chill values, as you can imagine, but obviously causing some blowing snow. And so road crews are going to be pretty busy today with the pileup of snow and the blowing snow. We'll have more on the forecast details, talking about more specifics on snowfall and the rest of the weekend outlook in a few minutes, as we have more first alert days in our future. But first, we'll send it back inside to David Burgett, who's talking more about today's road conditions.
That's right, Ted. So as you mentioned, as we get the light snowfall, it's going to turn to be a little bit more heavy towards the afternoon and evening hours, and that's why road conditions are going to start to deteriorate even this morning. We've seen a change here in the last really half hour to 45 minutes where that light snowfall and even foggy conditions possibly are causing our roadways in southeastern Minnesota to be more partially covered and in northeast Iowa too, and even fully covered in some areas around the Olmsted County area based on the latest update. Now, taking a look at one of our snowplow cameras in Iowa, this is around US 6, around just about 5 to 5:15 this morning. So they're seeing a lot of fully covered roads, at least along US 6 in Iowa and even around the region of Iowa. This is a map from IDOT, IowaDOT here in the state of Iowa, and you're seeing all this pink and all this blue here. That's going to be pink for the fully covered roads, and that just means towing is not recommended anywhere in the pink there, but really towards northeast Iowa, they're seeing more partially covered roadways here. And last I checked, there is still a block there along the I-80 corridor going in both directions from a multi-vehicle crash there. So road conditions right now here around the region, Clear Lake, a little bit less for the road conditions in terms of that, for that partially covered roads there. Along Highway 52, we're seeing partially covered roads there, but operatable, it seems. So northern Iowa, for that road cameras right now, we are seeing some more partially covered roads there to maybe possibly even fully covered, and even along along southeastern Minnesota, we're seeing those conditions start to slowly deteriorate around the region. But again, if you are going to be out, this is just winter preparation for you. Make sure you have enough gas, your tire pressure is checked, and you have a winter supply kit in the car in case you get stranded, because that's the last thing you want to be, is stranded on these roadways.
Oh, such good tips and reminders, David. And we can really see how this system is impacting Iowa just 3 days ahead of the Iowa caucuses.
Right. So that's not good for all the politicians if they're trying to get into town.
That's for sure. Thank you. Let's take a look at what's happening here locally with Darian Letty. She is out with photographer Kaylee Derschel, who's behind the wheel, so that we can have a safe team out here, and Darian can really focus on what you need to know this morning. Darian, where are you at, and what are conditions looking like?
Jess and Kelsey, I am here on 52 South. We just passed the Marion Road exit. We're kind of coming on Marion right now. And by the looks of it, we've got a pretty good coverage of snow on the road right now. 511 MnDOT's app is saying that it is fully covered. And that's definitely true. It's just not the thickest layer of snow, but we definitely have some snow on the ground right now. Nothing too slippery though. We don't really have any ice buildup, which is a good thing. We've got some traffic, people heading to work, and everyone's taking it pretty normal speeds, I would say. We do have a lot of plows out doing that important work, pushing snow, and definitely dropping that treatment to help melt that snow. So things are looking smooth right here. We're going to keep checking out around town, Highway 14, 52, to give you a look at what your morning commute may look like. I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you, Darian and Kaylee. Homeless shelters in Rochester are expecting an increase in demand for their services due to the storm. Catholic Charities of Southern Minnesota says it does expect the Rochester Warming Center to be full, including its overflow site. That's at the Rochester Salvation Army. The Landing, which provides services to people experiencing homelessness, also says it has been seeing more clients since the start of this month.
You know, staff's telling me that we're starting to eke our way back up. You know, a month ago we were seeing 107 unique individuals come in for services during the course of the day. With the milder weather in December, it dropped down into the high 90s, and now it's creeping back up again. So, you know, my probably best guess is we're around 110 unique individuals a day that come in for services.
Both the Landing and the Salvation Army are always accepting donations for winter clothing with gloves, socks, and hoodies at the top of their list of needs.
Definitely gear that we all need at this time. And as we continue through this storm, be sure to follow all of the latest forecast updates by downloading our First Alert weather app, as well as our KTTC news app. You'll get all of the up-to-date information there. Both of those are free for Apple and Android.
In some other news this morning, happening today, Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis continues his countdown to caucus tour. He is visiting Clear Lake to connect with voters and speak with them there. So that event begins at 10:15 at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. Doors are set to open at 9:45. Now to the latest details on the subsequent investigation underway as the result of the Alaska Airlines door plug blowout last Friday. While the NTSB is investigating how that happened, the FAA has launched an investigation into the aircraft's maker, Boeing, to determine whether the company did enough to ensure the 737 MAX 9 was safe to fly. So after us this morning on Today, Boeing's response to the investigation and what prompted it as MAX 9s remain grounded throughout the world. It is 6:10 on this Friday morning, and weather is definitely our top story today.
It sure is. We want to give you a live look outside at one of our cameras to just show you what the conditions are looking like right now. Ted has been tracking the latest.
And we have more snow headed our way for the rest of today. It's going to continue and, in fact, pick up in intensity, and the winds are picking up as well. Blizzard conditions also in store. The full forecast is coming up after the break, so stick around. And first alert day happening today because of snow that has been going on for a couple of hours now. And as you see here, there are some spots, visibility beginning to be reduced a bit by the snow and some of that blowing snow. The winds have begun to pick up and they'll be stronger certainly heading into the afternoon. The snowfall rate light right now, may pick up a bit more in the afternoon as well. So as we move through the day, it's going to be a slow buildup of snowfall that, of course, you see reducing visibility, but also makes for treacherous road conditions. And that's the situation we're facing right now. As we look outside live with our Lewis Auto cameras right now on the landscape, you see a little snow on some of our highways and roads, and you see the tire tracks and the roads outside, and that's going to go on here this morning. First alert day because of snow, several inches of accumulation likely in the next 24 hours. So one of the things, that's why it's today and tomorrow, because not just today will there be snow falling, it's tomorrow as well. And the wind is going to pick up today and it's going to last through tomorrow. So there will be some issues with that going on for more than a day. And we also have Arctic air coming in behind that for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So first alert day today, what we're facing, what we need to be talking about is the snow that's going on right now. Heavy snowfall happening this afternoon. It'll be light this morning, causing some slick road conditions to be sure, but the heaviest snowfall rates happening in the afternoon into the evening. 6 to 10 inches here in Rochester. Overall, that'll be a 24-hour total, or 36-hour really, if you add in the rest of tomorrow, but most of it happening between now and early tomorrow. Blowing snow a concern and blizzard conditions for many of the many areas locally, especially south and west, as we look at the possibility of snow and blizzard conditions in North Iowa, primarily moving forward into the afternoon time frame. Light snow building northward as we look ahead on satellite radar. Center of low pressure to our south, working its way across the map, generating some snow across Iowa into Illinois and Wisconsin. That is why our eastern counties will see the highest amounts. That system's going to work its way curling northward through the Badger State and bringing the eastern part of the area. The greatest snowfall amounts be through today and tonight. Blizzard warning starts at 10 o'clock this morning for North Iowa. I mentioned that too because not just snow, but it's going to be a windy situation. Winds at times 35 miles per hour around Mason City, around Northwood, Joyce, over toward Lake Mills, and also areas around Clear Lake. So we're looking at that going on tonight into tomorrow morning. Winter storm warning for the remainder of the area. We have visibility levels dropping in some spots, especially North Iowa. We'll be facing that as blizzard warning criteria will be met later on. That means visibility less than a quarter of a mile for 3 hours or more. That's a blizzard warning. It's not necessarily even the amount of snow, but it's what the snow is doing. It's the wind-driven snow, and that's going to keep visibility and road conditions on the poor side for quite some time. Already this morning, the wind chill levels below zero. Don't look for any improvement there. Temperatures may climb a couple of degrees, but the winds in the meantime will be increasing through the course of the day. Morning commute, 10 degrees, light snow. Slippery conditions, winds around 15 miles per hour, becoming gustier later on. All day snow, heaviest this afternoon and evening, 6 or more inches area wide. The highest amounts in the east half of the map. That is Rochester and points eastward, where it's going to be more than 6 inches. We're talking up to a foot of snow in a few spots. Slick roads and blowing snow concerns all the way through today, tonight, and tomorrow. Even though tomorrow there will be less snowfall, but it's going to be a problem for the next couple of days. That's why today and tomorrow, both first alert days. Future track computer modeling, snow goes on. The highest amounts, the darkest coloring going on still in the midday and afternoon. That's where we're looking at the highest snowfall intensity through the bulk of the day. Later tonight, snow begins to let up a little bit after midnight. Won't be done though. And tomorrow during the day, bursts of light snow shower activity, an inch or less of daytime accumulation. It'll wrap up at sunset or just beyond sunset. It's going to go on pretty much all day. Light snow and raw winds and sub-zero wind chill levels. Totals around the area, 6 to 10 inches around Rochester, and points eastward up to a foot of snow around La Crosse, Winona, Decorah to the west, 4 to 7, 5 to 8 inch totals around Owatonna and Austin. And the days that follow, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, look at these wind chill levels, 25 to 35 below zero each of those mornings. And so to get all that information, you can download the KTTC First Alert Weather app. You can track the snow and road conditions. Also talk about the wind chill and what the temperature forecast is going to be. A lot of small numbers there in the coming days. Today, 18 degrees. The afternoon, or actually really evening high temperature, 3 to 5 inches of snowfall during the day and strong winds in the afternoon. Tonight, strong winds throughout the night, 3 to 5 inches of additional snowfall, 8 degrees overnight. 7-day forecast past 12 tomorrow, but raw winds and some light snow. And then sub-zero high temperatures Sunday through Tuesday. And all of those 5 days are first alert days because of the brutal winter conditions. And we're going to get the latest on road conditions from David Burgett.
Ted, we are going to be seeing those first alert days today through next week, and all because of the snow and the blowing snow we'll see today. That's likely going to be causing some slick road conditions and just honestly not very drivable if you get blowing snow, make conditions harder. So that's why we have the first alert days in effect. So again, like Ted said, we're going to see the heavier snow into the afternoon today, into the evening hours potentially. So that heavy snow and blowing snow will likely make travel conditions rough, at least on the roadways around southeastern Minnesota and northeast Iowa. So even for today, we are going to be seeing a lot of that snowfall this morning. More light in the darker colors, we are seeing some more heavier snowfall really towards Iowa into the heavier portions for that snowfall this morning. And road conditions, the latest update shows that we're seeing some more partially covered to even more fully covered roadways based on the snowfall around Olmsted County and the Rochester area. In northeast Iowa, we're seeing partially covered roadways, and even into, with all the blue is, and even into central Iowa, we're seeing a lot of pink, which means that their roadways all of there throughout central Iowa, just south into southern Iowa, they're seeing all those roadways that will be covered with snow this morning. And that means that towing is not likely to happen with all those snow-covered roadways if you do get stranded in the snow. So right now we are seeing on the northern Iowa road conditions cameras, thanks to IDOT, we are seeing some more partially covered and maybe even some more fully covered roads there towards Waterloo at I-380 down in that region. Even around here, we are seeing some more partially covered roadways across the region. And so those are likely to start deteriorating into the evening hours today, but Highway 52 seems people look to be a little bit going more slower this morning, but it is important to be really aware of these road conditions as you get through the morning and even on your commutes to and from work.
Yeah, it's a good day to work from home if possible, and especially in Iowa, what a messy situation.
Yeah, very messy. I know I-80 is still roadblocked in both directions to a crash.
Thank you, David.
It is 6:20 this morning. We're going to be looking ahead to the Timberwolves game this evening at the Target Center. Plus, can the Wilds get back on their A game and bring home a win? We have a preview of tonight's game against the Flyers next in sports.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nick Spiliopoulos here with the top sports stories you need to know this morning. Two Minnesota sports teams aiming to get back in the win column tonight. The Minnesota Timberwolves loss to the Boston Celtics was a hard pill to swallow for Wolves fans. The East-leading Celtics came back to take down the West-leading Wolves by 7 in overtime behind Jason Tatum's 45 points. Wolves now have 5 of their next 6 at home, and it starts tonight against the Portland Trail Blazers at 7 from Target Center. As for the Minnesota Wild, they're coming back home licking the wounds of a 7-2 loss against the Dallas Stars. The last 2 weeks have been tough for Minnesota as they've lost 6 of their last 7 games. Tonight they'll face off with the Philadelphia Flyers, a 7 o'clock puck drop from the X. In the world of college hockey, the Gophers men's team starts their final non-conference series of the 2023-24 season. Minnesota's bringing in Robert Morris University against the Colonials. Puck drop tonight is 7 p.m. And just your friendly reminder, you can catch all this action on our Heroes and Icons channel. That's your look at sports this morning. Stay safe, everyone. And as always, have a great Friday.
All right, it's Friday. It means it's time for our weekly football picks. The NFL season is coming down to a close here, it seems.
It is, and it's going to be a perfect weekend just to stay inside and watch some football here on KTTC.
It sure is. It is Super Wildcard Weekend, and we have 2 games to pick from for us here at KTTC. We're going to just do one right now and bring you the other one later. First is the Cleveland Browns. They're heading south to take on the Houston Texans. That game is tomorrow afternoon. Again, 2 games that we're going to be bringing you first. Let's see what we have picked here. For the 2, I'm going with the Browns. Both these teams I feel like are pretty evenly matched up. What about you?
Yeah, I'm thinking this morning I should have been thinking these warm thoughts and went with Houston, but I also went with Cleveland. How about you, Ted?
So yeah, the same thought. Mine. Cleveland, tough defense. You cannot beat that defense. I mean, Stroud is a good quarterback, but I've got Cleveland this week.
Okay, let's see what Darian, our reporter, is choosing this morning. Oh, she's got Texans, so she's the first one on the Texans board so far. Let's take a look at the rest of the teams. Devin's a Cleveland Browns fan here. What about Kendall? Let's see what she's got this morning. Also the Browns. Last but not least, production. What do we got? And the Browns. So Darian is our lone Texan this morning.
Not a total brownout.
There you go.
Thank goodness for that.
Saturday night is that game. We'll be right back.
Live from your local news leader, this is KTTC News.
Good morning. On this first alert day, we are giving you a live look outside right now at Highway 52 from Civic Center Drive in Rochester. You can see those roads got some snow on them, and that snowfall is impacting a lot of our area this morning. In fact, a lot of school districts across southeast Minnesota and northeast Iowa are already closed for the day.
With this winter storm, we are bringing you live team coverage to keep you informed and safe. Meteorologist Ted Schmidt is out on the weather patio. He's been giving us hour-by-hour forecast and storm information. Meteorologist David Burgett is tracking live road conditions from MnDOT and IDOT. And our Darian Letty is out on the roads this morning with her photographer and driver, Kaylee Derschel, to let us know what the commute is looking like in real time right here. So let's get started with all of this with meteorologist Ted Schmidt. Good morning.
Good morning. A couple of hours ago, we started our broadcast and we had just a few flakes of snow coming down. Completely clear surface condition here at the weather patio. But now the patio completely covered in snow. About 2/10 of an inch of snow has fallen in the last 2 hours, and the snowfall rate still very steady, light snow with small flakes coming down, and at times the snowfall rate will pick up. In fact, by afternoon we're talking moderate to maybe heavy bursts of snow in our future, and traffic certainly slowing down. You can see that as there is some snowfall evident on the landscape. That's the current view from our Lewiston Auto camera at the studio, looking to the southwest across Highway 52 in northwest Rochester. On the map we have, of course, on some of our road cameras, you can see some of the tire tracks in the snow. You see some of that snow beginning to slowly accumulate on the landscape. It doesn't take much snow to cause things to get slick, and that certainly will be the case throughout the entire day. Snow still building northward. It started here at the studio just a little after 4 o'clock, and looking at snow continuing to work its way across the map this morning on Future Track satellite radar. We're going to be dealing with that throughout the day. Today. Right now, light snow continues. We're looking at a buildup of snow that takes several hours. It's going to be an all-day type thing that goes through the rest of today and tonight, with the possibility of up to a foot of snow in some spots by the time we get to tomorrow, especially for Rochester to the east. Right now, we're looking at kind of a snowy situation that's wreaking havoc with our equipment apparently this morning. But we're looking at a winter storm warning right now in Rochester with blizzard counties in some of the area. That's impacting the road conditions. Certainly, we're going to be monitoring that in the next 24 hours or more. And for the latest on those road conditions, let's send it back inside to David Burgett.
Ted, we are going to be seeing some first alert days here, like you said, through today and really through this weekend as we go from the snow to those really bitterly cold and frigidly cold conditions across the region. So even for today, we are going to be seeing that snowfall really make its way into the region this morning. This is from one of our Minnesota Department of Transportation cameras along US 218 that really runs towards Austin here in southeastern Minnesota. You're seeing a lot of snowfall and potentially some gusty winds with this snapshot from that camera. And road conditions around the region, the latest update shows that some of them are fully covered, some of our roadways, to more partially covered across southeastern Minnesota and even northeast Iowa for us. But this is a photo from one of our snowplow cameras along Minnesota Route Highway Minnesota 42 to get near to Wabasha into that region. So you can tell roadways are more partially covered in that region to more fully covered. So this is one of our snowplow cameras showing you the road conditions currently across the region. And even in Iowa, if we take a look here at their map for road conditions, we're seeing a lot of pink, which means that it's going to be fully covered in terms of that snowfall across those roadways, and towing is not allowed right now, or not good for those road conditions across the region. And that means you should not be really traveling when the roads are fully covered, unless you probably have to in case you need to get somewhere this morning. And even across downtown right now in Highway 52 in Rochester, we're seeing better conditions for driving, at least across the region, mainly more partially covered snow across there. And even along Highway 52 right now, we are seeing some more partially covered roadways that are more drivable right now before they start to deteriorate. And even in northern Iowa, we're seeing those road conditions along the highway I-380 in Waterloo and Ames that are going to be more partially covered to fully covered for those roadways. And even if you're going to be out this morning, you got to make sure, and even this afternoon, you don't get stuck in the snow, because we are going to be seeing that snowfall deteriorate. So make sure you do have some gas in your car, shovels, blankets, and a first aid kit in case you get stranded. That's the last thing you want to be, is stranded on the roadways.
Yeah, for sure. Really helpful information to know, and you just never know when that's going to happen. So good to have those items. Thanks, David. Let's check in now with Darien and her photographer, Kaylee Dershel, who is behind the wheel driving for Darien to take a look at what our road conditions are looking like this morning all across the area. Hey, Darien, where are you and what are you seeing?
Hey there, Jess and Kelsey. I'm here on Highway 14 heading east. We just passed through Chester, making our way towards Iota, and definitely a little bit more slick than what we've been seeing throughout the morning. Highway 14 seems to have a bit more of that build up on the roadways and a bit more slick compared to 52 and other parts of the area. So definitely want to keep it slow if you are heading on 14 today. We've seen a lot of plows out and a lot of people on the roads taking it a bit more slow. When we had the storm earlier this week, crashes. So we just want to offer some guidance for what to do if you do end up in a crash. So what you want to do is turn and stay on the road. If that doesn't work and you do end up crashing, put your hazards on, call 911 and remain calm. There will be somebody there to help you when you need it. So just make sure that you stay calm with that, and I'll send it back to you, Jess and Kelsey.
All right, Darien. Yeah, the roads are not looking very good out that way, but it is important that you are prepared at all times, and a great tool to do that is MnDOT's 511 map and website. It shows if the roads are clear, partially covered, or fully covered. So how does MnDOT actually determine what those road conditions are like? Well, all of its plows actually carry a system that relays real-time information back to the agency. Green means good, blue means light snow, and pink means the roads are completely covered or icy. So drivers can also relay those conditions that they're experiencing directly to the agency.
We hope you're also taking advantage of other features on 511, like our highway cameras, our snowplow cameras. That can really give you a visual. This is a computer system just like many others, so it's going to take in some factors, but it may not be perfect all the time. And that's why we really count on drivers to do their part to keep all of us safe.
And you can view all of that information by simply going to 511mn.org. We do have a link to that on our website, kttc.com.
Starting tomorrow and lasting through Tuesday, city crews are going to be clearing and removing snow from streets in downtown Rochester. So that does mean the overnight parking on a number of streets marked in red will not be allowed from midnight until 8 a.m. And we have this information on our website as well, kttc.com.
And as we continue through this storm today, you can always get all of those KTTC updates at any time by downloading our free news app as well as our First Alert weather app. In some other news this morning, a 41-year-old man is in custody after authorities say he allegedly threatened to shoot people at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus. Deputies say the man was arrested in the small western Minnesota town of Watson. At least 2 school districts near that area went into lockdown. A Facebook account believed to belong to the suspect showed a slew of rambling posts, including one mention of making the 2.5-hour drive to the U of M to start shooting students. While the search for the suspect went on, U of M employees were working remotely and residents were asked to stay away from campus. Operations did return to normal in the afternoon after the suspect was arrested.
In an effort to enhance recreational facilities in Albert Lea, city officials do want some of your input. There are several long-term projects the city is considering. The community survey focuses on expanding the lobby at City Arena, remodeling the aquatic center, and building public restrooms in the splash pad area downtown. You can submit your thoughts through Monday the 22nd, and that's when the City Council is expected to decide how to finance this $11.8 million list of proposed projects. Weather is our top story on this first alert day, and Ted's been keeping track of it all out there for us. It's a busy morning.
On the roads, you see some of that happening right now. Is light accumulation thus far, but slick road conditions, and it's only going to get trickier as we move along through the day. More snow, more wind, blizzard conditions in some cases today and tonight. The latest in your 7-day forecast, your first alert to forecast for today and the next several days is coming up after the break.
Here's your first alert weather with meteorologist Ted Schmidt.
Snow is continuing to fall. It's been going on for more than 2 hours now, and it's going to go on all day long. In some cases, light snow, and in some cases, the intensity picks up and may be rather heavy at times, especially in the afternoon. I think that's when the heaviest snowfall will be going on. Right now, the current scene as we look outside, this is live from our Lewis Dodauto camera from downtown Rochester. You see that the snow is on South Broadway, and as we look toward the south, that will continue to be the case. Light snow on the landscape here in Rochester, northwest side as well, on Highway 52. And at times, you see the visibility being reduced by those bursts of snow shower activity moving through the area. So we're looking at some snow that goes on through the course of today into right through the rest of today into tonight across the map. Right now, looking at the possibility of several inches of snowfall during the day. And here's the current scene from some of our Lewis Dodauto live cameras. Right now, we have a first alert day with the possibility of several inches of snow today, and on top of that, more snow tonight. Winter storm warnings and even some blizzard conditions are being met. The criteria are being met today. The wind chill levels will be much colder in the coming days. First alert day today, we'll start with that. We have snow going on. Powerful winds will really pick up, especially in the afternoon and evening. That may create blizzard conditions. There is a blizzard warning for a big part of North Iowa. That takes place midday, afternoon, and all tonight. And the heaviest snowfall area-wide will be noon all the way until 8 o'clock this evening. Light snow falling right now. It's building northward. The center of low pressure is tracking through the region to our south. You see some of the darkest coloring and radar. That's where central Iowa and parts of Illinois and Wisconsin will see even higher amounts than we will. And we're going to be on the northwest periphery of that system. Our easternmost counties will see the highest amounts of snow because of that, as the system tracks to the north and east. Blizzard warning again, North Iowa, 10 o'clock until 6 a.m. tomorrow. The rest of the area in winter storm warning from now until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Visibility, not a huge problem so far. Down to 3/4 of a mile in Preston. Rochester, not really a problem thus far, and you see some spots in North Iowa about a mile, and that's going to slowly get worse, though. That's the thing. The winds are going to be picking up, and the snowfall rate will be picking up as well. And so for the afternoon, we're going to meet those criteria for blizzard warning, which is less than 1/4 of a mile visibility at times, and powerful wind gusts. Right now, wind chill levels sub-zero pretty much everywhere you look, and that's going to be something we're facing for the coming days. 10 degrees for the morning commute, light snow, slippery conditions, brisk northwest wind around 15 miles per hour. All day snow, the heaviest of that in the afternoon and evening. 6 or more inches of snow, a safe bet for most of us, and the highest on the eastern half of the map. That's Rochester and points eastward, where some spots will double that 6-inch total in the course of the next 24 hours. Slick roads and blowing snow going on. That center of low pressure working its way through. But here's future track. We have snow going on right now. The heaviest snow as we go into the afternoon, the heaviest on the eastern half of the map is that low pressure area. It works its way into Wisconsin, skirting our area to the south. But we're going to certainly see some of that heavy snow at times with strong winds gusting to 35 miles per hour. Snow intensity begins to lessen tonight. Still snow going on, though. And then tomorrow, as the system pulls away, still some snow showers going on until sunset tomorrow. We're not completely done with the snowfall from the system until late tomorrow. So it goes on for more than 24 hours. Snowfall amounts specifically between now and tomorrow, 6 to 10 inches in Rochester to the east, up to 1 foot of snow around Winona, La Crosse, Decorah. To the west, slightly lighter amounts, but again, this is some of the areas where we have some of those strong winds that will cause blizzard conditions. Mason City, 4 to 8 inches. 5 to 8 inches in Owatonna. And beyond the storm system today and tomorrow, we're talking wind chill levels 25 to 35 below zero each of the next few days, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And they, too, will be first alert days because of those dangerously cold wind chill values. Download the free first alert weather app, KTTC First Alert app. You can hit the latest on those road conditions snowfall amounts, and the wind chill. We're going to be tracking all those things in the coming days. 18 degrees this afternoon, high temperature, 3 to 5 inches of snowfall. Winds to the north at times 35 miles per hour, especially during the afternoon. 8 degrees tonight, 3 to 5 inches of additional snowfall. Northwest winds still around 35 miles per hour. First alert days all the way through Tuesday. We see the Arctic air coming in. Sub-zero high temperatures, wind chill levels dangerously cold for 3 days as we slowly dig out of the snow and then bitterly cold weather. A lot of things happening in our future. In the meantime, we're going to hear the latest on the road conditions. We'll go over to David.
We are going to be seeing road conditions deteriorate really throughout this morning and into the afternoon hours. That's especially when the heaviest snow will fall, just like Ted mentioned here in his forecast. So when we get the heavier snow that's going to be falling really today into the afternoon, evening hours, road conditions and traveling, even this morning, are going to be slick across the area for a lot of places, especially when we get the high winds into the forecast. We'll see blowing snow that will reduce visibility. So around the region right now, we are seeing a lot of overcast skies along with that light snowfall and foggy conditions. Take a look at Iowa City at I-80. So we are seeing road conditions there that are going to be completely covered in snow to partially covered. And that's really what's happening around the region as we're seeing on US 218 here heading into Austin, into Mower County. We're seeing a lot of those snowfall conditions in that area with all of that blowing snow right now, and conditions aren't great there. But even along Minnesota Highway 42 here, we are seeing some partially covered roadways thanks to one of our snowplow cameras from the Minnesota Department of Transportation. So road conditions around the region are going to be more partially covered right now, maybe a little bit more fully covered as we're heading on 218 into Austin this morning. But even in Iowa, we're seeing fully covered roads. To everything in pink is going to be the fully covered roads, and the blue is going to be partially covered for a lot of those road conditions to our neighboring state in the south of us into our region. So again, there's going to be a blockage still on Highway I-80 in central Iowa between really Cedar Rapids and Des Moines. So there is a multi-vehicle crash there right now, and so travel is not advised in that region, but cameras around the region are going to be around just more partially covered roadways in downtown and along Highway 52, and even across the region right now, we're going to see partially covered roadways as we head really into this morning and before the conditions start to deteriorate. So safe travels this morning and make sure you're always prepared.
So thank you so much, David. A lot of good information there. On a different note, outside of the weather, we got a lot of football to talk to you about for this weekend. Pretty good weekend to maybe just stay in and watch football.
Yeah, turn on the fireplace and enjoy.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, we already did one round of our football picks in the last half hour. That was the Texans and Browns. There's another game we got to tell you about that's airing right here on KTTC Sunday. Night's matchup is going to be the Los Angeles Rams heading to the Motor City to take on the Detroit Lions. So let's see what our matchups are looking like for this game's picks. I'm going with Detroit. I didn't really know which one to go for. It was kind of a flip of the coin for me.
Yeah, I think as well, those Lions are going to roar. I went with them as well. How about you, Ted?
Detroit has a hot hand. They are tough.
Okay.
And really tough at home. I'm going with Detroit.
Yeah, okay, let's see what Darian's choosing this morning. I know she's obviously out on the roads. She has got Los Angeles, so she last pick, she was the lone on this graphic, so we'll see what the rest of the team is looking
LA
like.
is sounding good on a morning like this.
Right? Steven is going with the Lions as well. Our other producer, Kendall, is going with, drum roll, LA. You know, she used to live in LA. She went to college. Yeah. Last but not least, our production team going with the Lions as well. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, right here on KTTC.
It's going to be a good weekend of football, that's for sure. Let's see where all of our standings show right now. We got Kendall. She is still at the top. I believe she's been at the top for a couple of weeks now. So somebody's got to catch up to her if we want to take her.
We're running out of time, and I'm falling lower here.
That's all right. All right, you can catch that game on KTTC this Sunday night. Still to come this morning, eBay is facing millions of dollars in fines in a stalking and harassment case.
And we have a recall alert for a product that's designed to keep our kids safe. More on that coming up. eBay is facing a $3 million fine linked to a harassment campaign that included stalking and live cockroaches.
Yeah, according to a statement from the Massachusetts U.S. Attorney's Office, a couple was allegedly sent some disturbing packages. This was back in 2019, and it wasn't just stuff being sent to the couple's home. eBay workers allegedly put a GPS tracker on their vehicle and posted their address on Craigslist. Authorities say those eBay employees were upset that the newsletter the couple produced was occasionally critical of the company. eBay says it fired all of the people involved in 2020. The acting U.S. attorney on the case called eBay's conduct, quote, absolutely horrific. In a statement on the company's website, eBay's CEO calls the company's conduct wrong and reprehensible.
Millions of furniture tip kits intended to keep kids safe from furniture tipping over are under recall. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has issued a recall because the plastic zip ties included in the kits can become brittle or weak and break. No injuries have been reported, just reports of the product breaking. The new age furniture tip kits were sold online and in furniture stores across the country since at least November 2019. More than 24 furniture companies are part of this recall. It is 6:55. Let's take a live look outside this morning at your commute, Highway 14 at West Circle Drive. We're going to have more on the conditions out there right now in the First Alert Day when we return. It is the First Alert Day, and that is why. That is a live look right now at Highway 52 in Rochester, heading north. We've had our great team out there, Darian Letty and Kaylee Dershel, bringing us live looks at the commute all over the area.
Yeah.
And Ted, the snow really is just getting underway. This is quite a system.
It is. It's going to take more than a day for the snow to completely come to an end. It's going to go on pretty much all day today, all through tonight. Tomorrow it'll be smaller doses of snow, slowly tapering off, but we won't be completely snow-free until after sunset tomorrow.
Wow.
So it goes on for about a day and a half, and the vast majority of that snow will happen today, and the heaviest snowfall rates will be afternoon today into the evening. But right now we have light snow falling, enough to coat the landscape. We have about 0.2 of an inch of snow outside on our weather patio. It's been going on for a little more than about 2.5 hours, I guess, at this point, starting a little after 4 this morning. Here's our current Lewis auto camera looking outside, and the traffic moving slowly in that increasingly snowy landscape as snow continues to work its way through the area today. Right now, that's the current scene from our studio, and road cameras showing some little tire tracks. You see on some of that road snow, but things moving fairly well thus far. That will change as we move along today. The intensity of snowfall will pick up. We have more snow coming in from the south, and so during the afternoon, watch the wind speeds picking up, and along with that intensity of snowfall. And so we're going to pick up about 3 to 5 inches of snow during the daylight hours, another 3 to 5 inches tonight, and with that, stronger winds this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow morning. High temperature today, 18 degrees. That's going to actually happen after sunset. 7-day forecast temperatures climbing today to 18. The wind chill below 0, though, as gusts remain strong. Later today, gusting to 35 miles per hour. Snow showers tomorrow. At this point, less than an inch of snow tomorrow during the day, but slowly tapering off. And then after that, just really cold, bitterly cold wind chill values Sunday to Tuesday.
Thanks, Ted. Take care out there this morning.
Yeah, and stay warm as well as informed. Stay with